Hey everyone, it's Lauren Alvin with Add a Pup Dog and Puppy Training. We've got another indoor living room training tip Tuesday. It gets dark too soon nowadays. And we've only got one class that's graduating on Monday going on at the training center. So I'm home a lot with Nina right now, which is pretty nice. But that's what my training tip is about. Keeping your dog entertained and exercised and not getting cabin fever when it's cold and icky and dark out. So I'm gonna have some different videos coming up. I'm gonna narrate over it. But the idea is getting your dog using their brain inside. Using their brain is going to tucker them out faster than just using their body. Using their body is absolutely important, especially for, bouncing off the wall adolescent dogs. Someone with an 8-year-old dog, a trainer with an 8-year-old dog who's like, oh, you just exercise the brain. All of you adolescent dog owners are going like, yeah, right, that's not going to do it. But it helps. And I guess there was a post or something I did, a 10-minute sniff walk where they're using their nose and their brain is going to tire them out faster than a 20-minute just walking walk. So it's the same with enrichment. If we use their brain, it's going to do more in a shorter amount of time and in a living room. So for all the exercises I'm going to show in a bit, I am using kibble. I'm actually using a backup kibble that we have that's smaller than Nina's regular kibble, so she's getting even more repetitions and more paychecks out of the same amount of calories. So by all means, please, please, please use your dog's daily allotment of calories as training treats or a means to enrichment, especially when it's not that nice outside and then they have to get all their enrichment inside. So I'm going to show you some exercises, some brain games, and just some things to play with. It doesn't have to be a means to any sort of behavioral end other than giving them something to do with their body and their brain so they're not going crazy. And right now, Nina is resting on her bed after filming it because she's all exhausted now, and that's the idea. So let's see. I guess the only thing coming up is classes in January. We've got classes starting on Saturdays and then Mondays and then Wednesdays, and then eventually I think in February we're gonna have our daytime class again. So all you people with who work at home or third shift sort of stuff, we've got daytime classes coming up too every once in a while. Yeah, it's open, it's filling up, so nab your spot. January 6th is the very next one. January 15th is the one after that, and then it goes into February. We're also gonna have mini classes, 3-week courses, topical ones for little dogs, 25 pounds and under, small breed dog specialty class. And if you own a small dog, you know that there are special considerations that they need. And part of that is just recognizing that they don't need that many special considerations because they're still dogs. And a senior dog class, we'll be doing a lot of these things, the scent games, shaping, and senior-friendly exercise. So let me know if you have any questions. Keep in touch. Have a lovely holiday. It's going on or coming up. Just have a lovely time. Take care of your dogs. Have fun. And I think I said it already, but let me know if you have any requests. Bye-bye.
So Nina and I are practicing a couple things with this bench. You could just as easily do this with a couch, with a chair, I don't know, an aerobic step, whatever you got on hand. We're just practicing hop up and off. You could just do her front paws on this. She decided to go all in, so that's what we're doing. This is a really good manners behavior, asking them to hop up and off. We're also doing under. Again, you could do this with anything in your house. A broomstick between 2 chairs. If you've got a lower bench, even cooler, because then they get more of a challenge.
Yeah, good girl.
Here we're using our cat's scratching post as a way to practice go around.
Yeah, good girl.
We've done this with other objects. We've done it with cones and stuff. But we're trying it with something new, something she's never interacted with before, except in shaping sessions where she was touching it with her back feet, I think it was. So you'll see I'm trying to fade my prompt here so she doesn't rely on my body language as much, and eventually she'll just do it with a verbal cue. So we're just using new props in a different way. Yeah, that was her trying to put her back legs up on it. We're using a yardstick to practice over. You could do this by tossing a treat. I'm using sort of my Vanna White hand. I taught this with nose targeting, which is a fantastic trick for everything. I'm just raising it off the ground bit by bit each time. Don't go higher than you think your dog is capable of. If you've got a little puppy or an old dog, keep it low. If they're teeny tiny or they're, a little decrepit, then you might just put, I don't know, a yardstick or a broomstick right on the floor and they're just stepping over it. That's perfectly fine. They're just trying something new, learning a new trick, learning a new skill, and exercising their minds and their bodies. You'll see she'll do this without the point. She has this unverbal cue. We do this with a lot of things. I'm just demoing what it'll look like with a dog who hasn't done this so much before. We are doing 4 in the basket. So dogs have a lot of legs, and they don't always put them real close together. This is just an exercise to help her be aware of where her feet are, and it's just sort of, a yoga position kind of challenge. We've actually never done this together, put 4 of your feet in a box. So I'm using a little bit of shaping. I'm clicking for, 2 in there, 3 in there. She finally gets 4 in there. And I'm using some fancy luring, just sort of, helping her get her body in position. So this is another just prop we're using to interact with. I decided I wanted to have her back feet on this one. And we're going to do a couple different things. We're doing up and off with her back feet. We're going to ask her to hop up on it and then put her in a bow. So she's using some new muscles there. She's probably done a bow with her butt up in the air, but that's just what we're working on here. You'll see her shoulders working there. And then I figured it'd be fun to have her hop off. We'll go back up, and then she's going to spin around like a clock with her back feet on top of this. It's a little high up, so, she's using some new muscles here. So am I, because I figure out that that's not a great way to do it. But we're just playing around. The whole point of this is just trying something new, using some new muscles, interacting with things in a new way, and just having fun. It gives her something to do. You'll see she's much better at the second time around. A little shy of the corner where she tripped. All right, this is a fantastic way to feed your dog their meals. I've got a couple props laid out. I'm going to hide her kibble in a couple different spots, and I'm going to ask her to go sniff it out. You can do one hide with a couple kibbles. You can do several hides. You can do it however you like. Nina and I play this a lot. Usually when I do this, I'm having her sit and wait in a total opposite end of the house when I do it, and I release her from there. If your dog is a beginner at this, you're going to want them in the room and seeing where you're hiding it. So it's not really a hide to start with. You want them to be able to get it right, and then you can ask them to, go further away while you hide it, or be a little distracted, or you can actually hide it in places that aren't so obvious. All right, so now we're going to up the ante here. This is how you get fancy. I am going to hide the treats with a smell. So these are tea bags. They're sealed. I put it in there. I put some kibble on top of it. She can see me doing this. This is easy peasy for her. But again, if your dog is a beginner, you want it to be easy enough for them to get it right. So I'm pretending to hide it in other places, honestly, just for ceremony. She smells it, and I say, go find that smell. She does. It's also with the treats. So if your dog knows how to sniff out treats, we're asking them to sniff out the treats, and then it just so happens that the treats are with the smell, and they figure out how to find just the smell. So I'm going to hide just the tea bag. Nina is waiting in another room where she can't see me. This is how we usually do it. I'm going to rearrange stuff just so it doesn't look identical to what it was before.
Okay, come here.
Usually I just release her, I let her sniff, and then go search from there, but I wanted to let you see us do it. So I'm going to ask her to sniff it. She decides to taste it. And I say search, which means go match that smell. She's on her way, and she got it. She likes to hand it to me. We play a game with Birch on a retrieving dummy, so that's what she does. So there's a couple ideas. Try it out with your dogs. Hopefully I'll get over my cold. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.